Welcome everybody to a wonderful night of Age of Empires action. This is the first series of the semi-finals of the ESOC Summer Championship. On the one side we've got the man, the monster, Ungurs, and on the other side, April. Two amazing players who fought hard to get this spot in this tournament. And my name is MFT. I'm more than happy, as you can imagine, to be sitting in my spot right now and being able to present you with this killer matchup right there. Oh, Moonshine, I'm sorry. Such a scam organization. You're absolutely right, of course. But I'm not going to buy into that thing. Thanks for subscribing, man. Always appreciated. And as you can see with the subscription goal, we are pretty close to getting all the goals that we want for Autumn Champ Championship. So don't worry, that thing is going to happen. We are already set for that one. The first match, as you can see, is, by the way, already determined. First map is going to be Darfur. And we're going to see Ungurs on one of his best civilizations, probably. The Haudenosaunee, and April on the Spanish. Let's see what those guys have in store for us, shall we? Oh, and by the way, I mean, after what has been going down so far, you might have been able to guess it. But, of course, both players banned Hausa. I'm very sad to see this. Hearing said Dennis noises somewhere in the background. But yeah, that means no Hausa for nobody in this season, in this series. So let's see what is going to happen here. So no way Ungurs ban Hausa and not USA. Well, I guess it's kind of choice, as you say in Austria, between pest and cholera. Both suck, but you can only ban one. I'm just realizing I'm so nervous I haven't even started my game, but let me do that in a second. I'm really looking forward to this series, especially because I have not casted Ungurs before, and I'm not sure. No, I don't. No, I did kind of cast April because April actually smashed me to bits in the first series. In the group stage, I was actually in a group with April and with Ezad, so you can kind of estimate how lucky that went for myself. Yeah, but that is one thing I wanted to point out before we actually go into the games too. Since we do have some time before the games actually start, take a quick look at the group stage. Namely, look at the path that April has taken so far. Right, Ungurs just straight out smashed it out of the park. 3-0 against Wukl, 3-0 against Brum, and still a 3-2 victory against Reezy, who fought valiantly. I mean, I love Reezy. I know that guy's a wonderful person, but wait a second. No, he won against Brum, and then there was it. Sorry, I was talking about Brum here, who won against Reezy, but still, Ungurs just 3-0'd his entire group stage. And on the other side, April really had to fight for it. Not against me. I'm not gonna say that anything to do with that kind of stuff. Right? I fought against Desert, lost. April actually played against, I think that's Kellen, if I'm not mistaken, Arknevenstahl. And April fought against me then. Obviously won 3-0. And after that, he had a killer match against Kellen again, 3-2. And that's what got him actually into the main stage, into the main brackets, where he fought I Am Turk, who before that absolutely smashed Optimus in a 3-2 victory. And then April dominated with a 4-0 victory against I Am Turk. And now, guys, we are here for the almost main event. Because one of those guys is going to go to the big finals. And the other person, obviously, is going to play right after that for the bronze title. Starting right now, no delay. Thanks, Ungurs, for letting me know. That means, guys, we are going to be starting with the whole thing in a second. Right. Moonshine, MFD, such a noob that I couldn't reach the final round with such an easy group. Well, I mean, I did not get the free win for somebody not showing up. Shots fired, my friend. Shots fired, Moonshine. Oh, yeah. Let's get ourselves into the game, shall we? And please, guys, I think I actually fixed the sound alerts this time. If you play sound alerts and they are not being displayed, let us know, and you're all, of course, going to be... they're going to be refunded, worst case scenario. But yeah. So, Let's see if we can actually see the game so far. That was for a second. Ungurs game. Darfur. This is going to be a fun matchup because it's one of those matchups where I at least know one of the civs. And I do get shit on a lot in that matchup as Haudenosaunee. So hopefully I can learn one thing or two, right? Before we go into that, of course, I will show you the new stuff that McCleaves and his awesome voice actors cooked up for us. We're going to see an intro video for Darfur if the technical side of things is not going to screw me over this time, hopefully. So let's jump right into it, shall we?
At the foot of the Mara Mountains lays the arid region of Darfur. The extinct volcano in the southwest is surrounded by relatively fertile lands with some forests and a profitable trade route. The desert towards the east is known for its gold mines, nestled between tall cliffs. What resource do you need the most? Be sure to plan your expansion accordingly.
Alright, and let's get right into it. Manuel is Nabi, there we go, easy, nice to have you here. Lasbras, very kind offer, man. I just think that you have to do a training first or something with gigs. That's the only thing, because there's a kind of a prerequisite for the casting. But hey, the next time I cast, if you want to be by my side, I would be more than happy to have you, man. But yeah, let's get into the game. I mean, Darfur itself is a very interesting map, obviously. We have a trade route that is not in the mid, but still takeable from all players, right? I can't really watch them. Yeah, Swarminger, I'm sorry for that. You might have to wait them out then if that's such an issue. But I personally do love them. I also love the ones that I did myself, but not. I am also sometimes a bit weirded out by that. You know, the effect that you have when you hear your own voice is just very canny. Both players, of course, start with the TP. Spain very fast on that one. And let's talk matchup here, right? Obviously, for Spain, I think in H3, the two cannons, the two flagship, is something that's very hard to deal with for Haudenosaunee, because there's just nothing that you can directly do to kill them from range. You only have your goons, right? They have perfect or a really great killing ability against any kind of artillery if they're utilized right. But at the same time, it can be very costly for you, and that's one of the things that can really affect that matchup, obviously. So it all depends on micro. And I mean, while April has shown us some wonderful performances, at least from the things that I personally saw in casts and streams, we do know that Ungurs is kind of known for his aggressive and unit-focused playstyle, so I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what those players are coming up with in this matchup. Julie and Kevin tonight as well. I'm sorry, Terranigma, I don't think so, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's on Friday, but I will look it up. Please remind me of this match to look it up for you. I will certainly do that. So we just can have that. I'm sorry, I can't. If you guys know what that name stands for, what reference that is, then you can help me out. But I don't think that's one of the standard Spanish Explorer names. But he is already standing there. That dear lady is preparing herself to take that treasure away from poor old Raven over here, who is very brave, fighting those crocodiles, obviously. But I just don't think he's going to get it. I just don't think he's going to get it. And look at that. He knows it's over right there. And that's actually 75 wood that we're fighting over right there. So that's a good start for April right there. And Ungurs might be a bit pissed about it. But he's actually able to age with 14 villagers, which is a great age up. I think he might have been a bit late. Maybe he either... Yeah, I think he was really counting on treasure though. Yeah, he wasn't. Alright. And he just got good treasures before that. But 14 villagers... To age up with that is pretty great for Haudenosaunee if you can accomplish that, because gathering all the wood for the TP is usually taking a lot of tempo out of Haudenosaunee, and you often don't get to age that early. Spain on the other side, aging a bit late, for my taste, but let's look at their decks, shall we? Obviously, I'm really sorry, but I can't read that. If anybody in chat feels able or feels willing to translate that, feel free to do so. Otherwise, pretty standard nowadays, standard Spanish deck. I don't see Fabulous here, or the Marvelous here, and also don't see the two Haciendas, which I'm super thankful, happy with, and super thankful for, because that usually involves a lot of unsatisfying game moments, to be honest. Ungurs on the other side, yeah, that's I think is pretty usual 1v1 deck on a land map. Something that Ungurs likes to have in his deck is actually Agrarian Ways, because just if you have that transition period, Haudenosaunee has an easier way of transitioning right up already, right? It means for competition. Thanks for you. I'm just gonna trust KKT 5393 there. I mean, we are old friends, obviously. Known the guy for ages. And Ung is already deviating from the standard FF build order that you'd usually see against Spain. He is going for a trading post and going for a boomier version of the usual build, I guess. Actually building those Berber Nomads, but also going forward with his Travois. So he is going to go for some H2 action, probably trying to delay what Spain is usually trying to do. And the Spanish player is looking like he wants to send 5 vills instead of the 700 coin that you often see for a straighter build order. As far as I remember, please, I'm sorry that I don't know all the player Vitas by heart, but as far as I remember from when I played April, he is Korean as well, right? So that is a fair point to make here. 200 coin on the ground. We see Spain is basically almost able to age up. The defensive outpost is there. And let's see what Ungurs is cooking up to fight that, actually. He is not cooking anything up. He's just building extra vills and trying to age up here. That feels a bit weird, but longhouse there, so he is a bit idle. I don't know what to think of the build order so far. I mean, I like that he's utilizing the Berber Nomads there, but at the same time, let's be honest, big button coming out, that thing is going to pop over there, probably going to be used to harass the Spanish player a little bit. At the same time, April is basically able to age up now. Bit mismacro probably on food. 1 or 2 food treasures would have been great there, but I mean, look at that. All the hunts that it can get are beneath the town centers of Spanish, or the Spain. Spain player here should be in a good position. Life games, obviously life games, my friend. That is what this is going to be. We're not here for some weird wreck stuff that goes out of sync halfway through. We are here for live action perfection. That is what we want to see, right? And I mean, we've got April versus Ungurs, so we are going to be pretty damn close to perfection here. Yeah, and look at that. Ungurs probably knows that he can't really go into base with the mass he has, or mass with the units that he has. So what is he doing? He's actually sending... What is that? He sent 5 vills, a crate card, and 600 coins. So he's going to age up with a 600 coin. But what is he looking to invest all his resource in then? I mean, what's the plan here? I mean, he's maxing out on the Berber Nomads, so his economy is going to be great for the age up. Spanish player can't really deflect this, so this is going to go down probably, if he doesn't go for dogs, obviously. He's trying to peek, and I think to discourage Ungurs from taking down the TP here. Oh, predictions. I can quickly do predictions. I'm sorry that I didn't think of it a bit earlier. The truth is, you know, if I have to do all of it, then I'm sometimes a bit stupid. I will. Yeah. Who takes game number 1? Thank you. There we go. October, April, Ungurs. There we go. And I'm going to cut it short. So you guys, I'm going to start a prediction now, and you're going to only have 1 minute because the game has already started. So please be, please think about that. Don't forget that. I will give you more time. It's going to be 2 minutes for the next games, but no. Animus. Well, Bulgars and Issa cost the if you can bet any better than this. King Ovas King, no schedule, nothing. Well, the thing is with this that the timing was a bit random. Or not random, but a bit spontaneous, especially for me as well. But I'm lucky to cast this, and I think... I know it's sometimes a bit weird for you guys to see those games pop up spontaneously without too much of notification. We're trying to get that right for the next tournaments as well. But it's better to cast it with a bit of a short notice than to not cast it all. And don't forget, it's all going to be on YouTube anyway. So You're not going to miss out, even if it's an inconvenient timing for you guys. Don't worry about it. Alright, 8 minutes through. We are in H3 for both players now. Dragoon production has officially started. Front base is there on the ground. Skirms are coming out. First shipment, yeah, the Dragoons, obviously. What is Spain going to do on the other side? We actually see Skirm. We see the Cav age up, probably. Trying to take down the Explorer there and the small group over there, of course. I'm really interested in the composition that Spain is going to do here. Double Rex, actually. So we are probably, yeah, Skirm Masters. Skirm. On the other side, Ungurs is going to be rather heavy, invested in his musket rider production. Obviously, that is what he needs against any artillery play that's going to take place. But now you see the second important shipment for Haudenosaunee come in. And with those 8 Forest Prowlers added to the 10 that we're going to have with this batch, that's probably going to be full when it's come out. So this should be a decent enough fight. Positioning is important here now. You don't want to get those rods in your infantry, but you also don't want to have them on those squishy musket riders. Especially if you have a humongous mass of veteran skirmishers. And honestly, I think that was a great opening here by April. Actually catching Spain a bit off guard. Haudenosaunee off guard. Sounds weird now that he's getting so many hits here, but actually Skirm is still better for Spanish player here. We've got 12 Elite Forest Prowlers and I think, yeah, 16. Reinforcements on the back there. The point is that we saw a clean Skirm Goon over here from Haudenosaunee, right? So no cav, no melee cav. Imagine if we had one shipment of melee cav in there, then this fight could have gone a complete different direction there. Hode is winning more equal, better units. Well, 28 villages versus 37, and we are not counting the extra economic power, actually, the Haudenosaunee has there. But don't forget, shipments for Spain. That's always a factor that you have to think about. Oh, one skirm for both players, so trade is even so far. That's 2 and 2. Now the fight is not that even anymore. That's the skirms. Really nice fight. I don't know if you actually split it or if you just used the attack move, but that was some clean micro right there. Because obviously, if you have even trades here, cost efficiency wise, Elite Forest Prowlers just completely shit on those veteran skirms, especially from Spain, obviously. So he's in for a hard fight. And now the vet, look at that. Vet Kanya Horsemen in the field. I think you should have gone in there. I think you should have snared those guys because there's only, what, 6 or 7? How many are those? Take a look at 8 Roderos. Could have easily killed them with the skirms, and then he would have had enough cavalry to huge number of those skirms. But now, of course, vet Rodelos are out, upgrades on them, and but you guys are right about the economy. 40 villages for Haudenosaunee, and those numbers are looking good. Let's take a quick look at eco upgrades. Only hunting dogs, so economy on a normal village should be the same for both players. Rods are there, but can't really go in because the skirmus is still so potent here. And slowly but surely we see a mass of cavalry dribbling in for Ungurs there. Interested in the next shipment, another Carney shipment, so he is going to go for that calf mass. And honestly, if April doesn't think of anything more creative here to counteract that heavy calf switch, he is going to be in a dire spot. And look at that artillery coming in now. I don't know if that is the right thing to call right there. If your enemy is going to come in with about, what, 30? 15? 13, 15? Yeah. Should be about 15 Carney horsemen there. Ungurs doesn't really need to push though, he can just mass. You have to got a great pop with Carney. The co-defender, that's what I saw, but he really does not necessarily need that fight. Artillery is in there now, so... And look at the score. Oh, those guys, that could have been ugly. If they just... Thankfully, Ungurs was aware that they popped to the front. They took a bit of damage, but not too bad there. And of course, look at that. He actually aged to the second age with Villager and Healer age up. So he can just take Raven and heal that guy up to his full 1200 HP. And that, of course, is a huge bonus for the entire army. Because on a Vet Carnia alone, that's about 35 HP or something. And the fight is about to happen, guys. Skirms on the right side. Kev diving in, but rods there to protect. Artillery getting sniped. Nothing really he can do against that. He needed a few rods on the right side to protect against that. But Rods need to be in the front lines, and that's where they get slaughtered by all those skirms. I mean, Forest Brothers just doing what they do best, slaughtering heavy infantry. And on the left side, the Kanyas don't even care. The surviving Rods on the right side, though, they are kind of... I mean, they are doing their job, of course, but Ungurs doesn't have to care. The elite Kanya horsemen here are just going to clean up the skirmisher Mars. Look at 5 core score difference here. And even if they make it to base, I don't see how Haudenosaunee is not winning this. That was cleanly played. I mean, now, of course, shitty spot for the Cav to fight in. Rods on that units here everywhere, but I don't think one batch or 2 half batches of rods is going to be enough, and that's the entire Spanish army being slaughtered like pigs in a farmhouse. Jesus. Lancers are, in theory, nice, of course, but not if you didn't have anything to back it up, and there's more anti-Cav to deal with the proper Lancer pop, and look at that. Anti-Cav from all sides, Cav there to snare, and the first game looks so decisively played here by Ungurs. Ungurs doesn't care. He's just going to take the fight and take them all down. And that's the first game done after just 14 minutes, guys. Ungurs takes the first victory of the night. GG, well played here. And that's... I mean, I saw April play Spain, he plays it properly, but I do think that Ungurs had the better strategy here, or the strategy that was more tightly fitted to the map itself as well. Right, don't forget about the fact, because we didn't see anything special from Spain here in the sense of map-specific build orders. On the other side, we of course had Ungurs just going for the Berbers, taking those 5, basically, vills on steroids, and using their full economic potential. I'm gonna take a look if we can actually see. Yeah, look at that. That's hunting dogs. And on the other side, we've got Berber nomads with 1.2 gather speed. That's far and beyond what you get with hunting dogs and even steel traps. In steel traps is 1.09. So huge economy lead. And that's the thing. If Haudenosaunee gets a decent eco, those guys are insane. Unit composition is great, but it's usually economy that's a bit lacking, but not in this game. Certainly not. Clean first play, in my opinion. And let's take a quick look in the post-match screen, shall we? All right. Resource-wise, just look at that. Sounds weird, I know. It's just 1k difference, but unit numbers are the same, almost. So economy-wise, it's still better for Ungurs. Just basically the same. But that's the thing. More mass for the Spanish player, but just units killed much better for Ungurs here. And the first fight looked somewhat surprising in my opinion, at least from Ungurs' perspective. But he caught the momentum very well, and his transitioning to cavalry was perfect right there where he needed it, and he knew that Spain probably was not going to do anything against it or nothing properly. Natives spawned at random, that's for sure, but at the same time, he saw what natives were spawning there, and he took advantage of it. I don't know if that was his plan all along, to go for those specific natives, and if there had been any others, he wouldn't have done it. But we saw him go for the Berbers, and that is just, in my opinion, a very precise play, in my opinion. So, at least in my books, Let's check villages here. Yeah, look at that. Ungurs, just villager population, always ahead. 35 to almost 10 villages ahead, which is huge, especially if Spain does send the 5 villages. So I'm impressed. Good first game from both players. Let's hop back into the pre-match screen though in the meantime and see what they will come up with for the next one, shall we? So first game goes to Ungurs there. And yeah, already 100 people of you are watching. I'm glad to have all of you here. But I don't buy this to dust. I see your argument. I think it's valid, but at the same time, I do think that Ungurs has some specific strategies in mind. I don't know if he just likes those natives and just has a build order on the go, because there are of course several maps with those with those Berber nomads. But at the same time, It's not like April could not have done the same, right? Ungurs wins the first one. There we go. Spain's supposed to adapt to Berbers. Delay FF. I also think that against Haudenosaunee, I don't know if rods are the right composition here, but at the same time, of course, I'm no specialist when it comes to the Spanish player, to the Spanish civilization. So I think Ungurs is probably expected a more Lancer heavy start, and that's why he went so heavy on the goons first. And I think April had a good momentum there, but I didn't take the fight. Maybe he was afraid of a cav shipment coming in to reinforce. So, difficult to say here. Playing to the limit of the map. Hey, nobody's crying here. I'm just pointing out that I think he did that very well, right? I think the others are agreeing or disagreeing, but that's all. April played poorly. Well, it's hard to adapt to Haudenosaunee if they suddenly have a great land economy, to be honest. Because usually what you see is that Haudenosaunee is played on water maps. And don't forget, this first pick, right, there was no counter picking here. Both players banned a civ. They banned Hauser, both of them. And then you pick your civs for the first map blindly. Right? So that is something that you guys have to consider here. I think it's just a good build if Ungurs just went for normal Howd FF, but Ungurs didn't. He could build the counters. Yeah. I think Squirmager, that's at least the opinion that I can fully agree on for myself. Because usually, especially with the kind of semi that we saw from Ungurs, I do think that usually Spain has the better tempo here, but of course, better tempo was countered by a much better economy. Oh, Brum in chat. Great to have you, man. Really great to see you. Have scouted the Berbers and Ungurs as well. I don't think he needed to scout it. He saw the native TP, and I think you can be pretty sure that he's going to go for that. But yeah, April should have either hit earlier or boomed more. As we all know, right? Yeah, April did a slightly more EQFF, but Ungurs did even more slightly EQFF that. I think that's a very precise analysis of the circumstances here, Swarmager. Thank you very much. Now, to be honest here, I just think that it's very hard to judge the situation properly because the margins that those players have, because both are playing kind of timing civs here, the margins that those players have to win their games are so damn slim sometimes in special matchups that it's very hard to really understand if they could have seen that better in that very moment, right? Because it's a matter of seconds, of shipments, of moments that sometimes separates victory from defeat. But yeah, let's not get too philosophical. I'm quickly going to check if we can actually see the next game already, which would obviously be great. Regions. There we go. Second map is actually going to be Manchuria. So one of the maps we have seen a lot of times so far in tournaments, but also one of my most favorite maps. Those of you who have been watching ESOC for the last year or so probably remember that was also one of my first casting actions here, together with Felter Tobi actually, where we got to cast on this map a best, I think it was a fourth map of a best of 5 or something, and full series played. Maito versus... Maito versus Frontline? I'm not sure anymore. A long time ago already. Yeah, wonderful cast. And Manchuria is just one of the maps that... I mean, you guys are free to have your opinion, but it just offers so much in means of dynamics and opportunities. You've got water, you've got livestock, you've got natives, you've got a trade line. And one thing I'm already going to tell you guys... This time the trade line is not one of the safe ones. It's actually the shared trade line with 4 TP. So We're probably going to see some fighting over that. The matchup is there already. So just let me quickly update you on the matchup there. We've got China coming in on Manchuria. If my brain is able to find it. And France on the other side, so... But we're going to see some water action. Oh, we never know with that. But with those saves, we have to say that those are usually not too keen on water. But at the same time, this is a pro player level game, so somebody is surely going to take water if it goes for long enough, right? And Brumboy, last thing about Toby, I don't think he's going to do that, but he's certainly going to upload a video on his YouTube channel after a few years of traveling. Yeah, but not too much about that. Let's get you guys into map intro videos and get started with the next cast, shall we? I think that might actually be one of mine. So it's good I don't have to hear it. Because I always cringe when I do.
Manchuria's open land separates China from Russia. Although the region is dry and barren, its position along the coast presents interesting opportunities for an economy based on fishing and trade. Yaks are also found here and should be actively contested by the players. The trade route can be found either behind the players' bases or along the mountains in the west.
Alright, so let's get started with the second match of this best of 7 series, the semi-finals to the ESOC Summer Championship. Also, Melanchola in chat, I'm glad to see some people from the German community as well, obviously Greenhorn there as well, so nice to have you. And technically Brambo now as well, since he plays in a German league. We've got France versus China, and I am a part-time France player. And I always find China just generally difficult to deal with. But I do know that from experience and from casting, it's often considered to be a favored matchup for France here. Bramboy, thank you. We understand that. Thank you, Squamanger, for the predictions. Takes game 2, obviously. And this time I'm going to give you 2 minutes, so it is a bit more enticing, right? And there you go. Predictions are. And we actually see Ungurs going for the first treasure, 70 wood. That is great for France because it enables them to focus much less on wood, of course. And might actually be able to, just from this 70 wood treasure, especially with those yucks. I don't think he's going to go for a 12-10, but he should certainly go for a 13-10, 13-20 in my opinion. Right. And things that you usually see here against China, at least from my perspective, are H2 action from France. Just utilizing their cav and their tempo and the good economic numbers that it can get out. Well as their military strength, of course. China starting with a TP, no surprise there. And let's quickly check the deck for 1v1 ponds. So yeah, classic anti-water deck from France, nothing special there. On the other side, let's check what April has in deck here. KKT, I'm just outsourcing. I'm going to outsource that part to you again. That's alright. And yeah, look at the deck. That is pretty much what you'd expect from China here. Probably a bit heavier even on H4, but China likes it. China can do a lot with it. You have the 3 basic unit shipments, you have the standard army hit points, so in theory you can still even play H2 if you wanted to. But against France, obviously, that is not where you want to get stuck. All means water. So, alright. Who's water? Deck name is France Water. Well, then it must be a counter pick though, right? Because water, he doesn't have anything on water except that one counter card for water, but I'm interested in seeing what we're going to see here. Food has been sent, so age-up is going to be imminent. Timing should be quite decent, and since the... Since they actually nerfed the Temple of Heaven, yeah, you still see the summer pillars just for unit production and the food that you get from it. So I'm not surprised to see that here. France aging, as I said, 1310. Backwards market. Interesting that it's so far to the back, actually. Probably just wants to make sure that his hunter over there is has a bit more line of sight, so he can escape early if the raid is coming or something like that. Nope, that's not good, obviously. Sieur de la Salle going down that easily, giving 45 XP to the enemy, and also denying any extra scouting from Ungurs. He still has Huron Scout there, as Huron Scout. That is very weird to pronounce in English when you think about German, but easy, don't make fun of me, please. But at the same time, China now has free reign over the great treasures that this map holds, of course. Ungurs aging up at 4 minutes, so a magnificent age up right there. Every France enjoyer in the chat is probably in pure ecstasy right now. And let's see. Yeah, I mean, 4 CDBs, that is not a big surprise, but what is the first shipment or building going to be? Are those 2 villages? Yeah, they are. Does April see it? He does not scout the stable. He didn't even scout the herd here, so he has no idea that the forward stable is coming. If he doesn't get some more proper scouting out there, then he might be caught off guard completely. Look at that. He's going for 700 coin first and 700 after that. Classic FF stuff. In Ungurs, shipment in base. 4 villages. What's the next one? 700 wood. So he's actually going to go for the semi. Sieur de la Salle is, again, dead. But got some scouting done. No defensive building here from China. Map bugged. No France drop point on water. There must be. Right? There should be. Oh no. Wait. Oh my god. You cannot send anything from... You are absolutely right. There is no drop-off point. You can't chip the galley. You are absolutely right. I'm quickly going to inform them. That hasn't happened before. I don't... We have casted a lot of series here. But that has never happened before. Yeah, I'm quickly going to write those guys, but Jesus Christ. Sorry for the short delay, but that is something very unexpected. Yeah. I don't know how this is going to play out, though, because I think that Ungurs is in a better spot here. But in theory, well, yeah. Sieur de la Salle is backing up and running. Some, the sentries have been called, but honestly, they are already pretty much down in value right there. And Kev is pouring into this base from all sides. Ah, that's not great. Full batch of Cav there. And of course denying all of this. Ah, that hurts. October was caught off guard. He will be able to age. But I don't think he will be able to survive this onslaught there. Oh, that is... I mean, look at that. Did he see it in the meantime? Nope. He just did not scout it. He was right there going through with his disciple. Just close, really closely actually missing the French villages that were seconds after he passed through, building the base, building the stable, and this is the result. I mean, he can't even age. Those guys are just idling the entire base so hard right now. And even if he ages up, he's going to be hard-pressed to find one single shipment that is going to take care of all of the mass that the France player is preparing here. Especially since it's a cavalry crossbowman mix. So that is not looking good for April here. France on the other side taking down the TP, so Ungurs knows precisely where to strike and what to hit. He has done this, and not just once, and he's doing it with glorious performance here. He's just very confidently taking this. With the timing, with the situation, with the spot here. And on the other side, look at it. October, he's going to age up super slowly. 85 seconds still. That is now just a bit less than normal age up to age 3. I mean, and we normally know that this explorer is, of course, insanely strong if he pumps out his disciples, but not if he's on the ground again. So Ungurs not even bothering trying to siege the Wonder, and of course he can't, but he's just doing damage wherever he can. In the meantime, probably trying to age himself. Yeah, look at that. Age at the same time. April should have shipped steps a while ago. I guess he just didn't want to invest that shipment. And now he's not penny gauging, but of course speed aging as good as he can, or as well as he can. There come the steps, but now of course they're worthless. And Ungurs on the other side probably knows that as well. I don't know if that group is still going to get caught out. Can those 8 stacks deal with that? Oh, dude. Not too sure about that. I think you should have focused the pikes first. Actually, Ungurs is up before China. France aged first. And now Skirm Goon is out. An entire H2 shipment. And he's not going to be able to even clean the H2 mass of France there. While France on the other side, obviously, producing units, getting Skirm Goon combination ready. While October is now up and now sending intervention, which against Skirm Goon with Brits is not going to do a lot. Yeah, Brem, I fully agree with that. I think you should have gone on that on the anti-care first, because then you could have properly dealt with everything else on the map there. Just not a very good decision there. Oh no, I mean he was basically facing, or his back was already on the wall, of course, but that does not better his position in any way. Ungurs knows how to counter China. Yeah, he obviously knows. I mean, he has a lot of civs that he plays a lot of civs that require very specific situational timing against China to do damage and to put them in a spot that you yourself on the other side are comfortable fighting against. Bigger thing is no porcelain tower. I think he needed the skirms. He wanted to get the numbers out, but of course that in long term the porcelain tower would have been much more beneficial economically speaking. And the Dreadbox here is just killing his front line. Ah, that hurts to see. All those red coats, even though I want to go from the shipment. I mean, those guys are expensive. And they're dying to a handful of skirms right now. The Goon Mask can't do much, but Ungurs is pull tricking as much as he can here. Ah, Jesus. And I mean, Cav is coming in, of course. Those skirms over here, a bit caught out of spot. That's good for China again, but look at the score alone. And this should be the spot where China starts, you know, deathballing. But they're barely holding on with their military. Ungurs now shipping the skirms, so his skirm numbers are going to be quite healthy after this. And it just feels like a perfectly smooth game from Ungurs. When Harry cast on ESOC, when hey, if I can see Harrison cast on here again, then I'm perfectly happy with this. I think it's just an issue of using overlay or not, right? But yeah, Harry, if you ever want to co-cast it to be on here with me, I would be more too happy to see that. But yeah, look at that. The Chinese mass slowly dwindling down under the fire of those crossbowmen and skirms. I mean, April is holding on, but by his teeth. Quite literally. There's nothing else here. Ungurs knows it. Villager-wise, right? 24 villages with 31 CDBs. And now we've got big Chinese cav, of course, but without the upgrades, they're just worth much less. At the same time, of course, we've got veteran cuirassiers there. Just the 3 of them. But it's enough when October resigns right there. And that's the 2-0 for Ungurs. Means he only needs 2 more games to finish out the series. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that was smooth as hell. No water shipment point of view. Well, I guess, you know, it's like with people who lose one of their senses, like people who are blind or deaf or something. They it's all, or at least that's a myth that I've heard a lot of times, right? That those people therefore, to kind of balance things, they get better in the other skills they still have left over. So it looks like without water, Ungurs is just an even bigger beast on land, or something like that. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, that's it so far. Let's quickly jump into the post-match perspective. But we're going to jump into the next game as well in a second or so. Yeah, April is always playing at weird times. That is true. He played it for me in a very weird time as well, but it was perfectly fine back then. Look at that. Most resources. That's almost double the resources for France. Can you see that? No, April is no noob. Jesus. Of course he's not a noob. I would never say that. But the last two games were beautifully played by Ungurs, in my opinion, with a lot of map adaptation and very beautiful counterplays, especially this small mind game. I had that happen to me also sometimes when you see some enemy villages more or less in the front, but not too far, right? But they're gathering on a hunt, so they are safe. They are not really building a front base. They're just chilling there, eating some deer or something. And when you turn your back, they hammer down a front base that is going to mess up your entire life. So, in my opinion, beautifully played here. Yeah, look at that villager population and then military union pop. And that was huge 5 calf patch there. Beautifully played by France. No, honestly, I think we do agree that April is the underdog in this matchup, but April has performed tremendously well in this tournament so far. So I don't take anything. I don't think that anything here is impossible. Right? Let's go back to the teammate screen for a second and jump right back into the game as soon as I find it. I actually got the next matchup here. And it's Russia versus Brits. So this is going to be a hard one. This has always been... I'm not good with either of these civs, so please forgive me if I don't mess something up meta-wise or something, but as far as I can remember, especially in times when Brits was considered to not really have any bad matchup, ouch, shots fired, Harrison. I do think that Russia has that advantage that it can just contain Brits a lot better. That the way that Russia plays its strategy and the way that it scales works pretty darn well against Brits in comparison to a lot of other civs. But yeah, I'm quickly going to figure things out with Harrison there, because I would love to cast with you, man. I'm trying not to fangirl too much here, but that would be an honor, sir. Just so I don't miss it, I'm just hopping into the next game, which is going to start on Pampa Sierras. And Harrison, if you're still listening, let's just meet up on the ESOC, Discord, obviously. Don't know if you currently have the caster also, if you have access to the casting or streaming voice channels. Just let me know on Discord, and we're going to figure things out. Because it would be really darn great to have you, man. Oh yeah, don't forget the next matchup, or the next map specifically. We have seen Russia being played here as well, because they can take map control, obviously. Don't need OTP. They benefit from all the hands that are around and from taking map control from the enemies, obviously. Brits. I've also seen Brits being picked a lot on this map, not just in this tournament, but also in the German league on higher levels. And I'm not too confident with it, because Brits I always see them being starved here. Let in streaming unless you invite me to private messages. And I'm going to join you in streaming. There we go. Harrison, you there?
Well, hello there, everybody. Testing. We listen. Am I coming through nicely?
That should be perfect. Just a few more sentences, if you will, just to make sure that the audio is balanced out.
There once was a Name, there once was a boat called Billy of Tea. The name was a ship of the Billy of... I have no idea what the song
It's
goes.
perfectly fine. I can only hum around. That's my issue.
Big honker indeed. Oh my god. Hola amigos already with the salt in the chat there. Oh, right. What's a
There we
party?
go.
Let me get that pop out chat. Am I able to watch your screen in like 15 FPS, 360, just have a bit
Yeah,
more
obviously. If you prefer that
up
one.
to date?
Cool.
Yeah.
There we go. Should be all right.
We are happy to meet here or meet somewhere else a bit more private in case, I know, Passy gets angry and hops in.
I should be fine. The private stuff is for later, right? The after show is still about to happen.
Oh, you naughty boy. Absolutely naughty. MFD, I gotta say, but before we hop in, you have certainly put in a bit of a shift for ESOC in recent months. 6 months, 8 months, it's certainly been noted by the community and certainly one of the better casters, hosts out there as well. Nice clean voice, nice positive attitude, decent game knowledge, better than Lions, of course.
Man, you know...
No,
you could
no,
see me
Lionheart.
blushing right now, you know?
There's no change in leadership. It's me shirking all responsibilities of an overlay system, and me putting the game first. And yeah, that's what this is a conversation for another day. But I think ESOC's about the game first and foremost, and that's what today's stream will all be about.
You know, and if anybody gives me shit for it afterwards, I think that this is a nice compromise, right? I'm doing the overlay, you doing the smart talk and the smooth talk and all that. So everybody does what they can do best. Right?
You absolute tease.
All right, we are in game so far. Let's quickly get you guys introduced to the map that you certainly haven't seen ever before, right? Pampa Sierras. And let's go into it. There we go.
Exploring the backside. Wow.
Wild llamas roam the western Pampian Mountains, and players must choose whether to invest into the wealth of livestock or take their chances picking out the first treasures in the lowlands. This semi-arid region offers no trading routes, though Mapuche settlements populate the landscape. Players should watch out for potential alliances that can offer a variety of early aggressive options, as well as valuable late game technologies.
Right. Are you ready to start, man?
Yeah, you do it. You lead the way.
There we go then. All right, guys. Third game of this series, of this best of 7. And obviously, we've got Ungurs versus April, aka October, right here. In the north, fitting, of course, Russia. And in the south, we got the Brits. And starting with this match, because as I said, I'm not a particular fan of neither of those civs. What is your perspective on this kind of matchup?
Oh, well, pleasure to be back, Caston, as well. Hello, everybody, welcome. This matchup is absolutely one of those classic ones. It's something you often see on a no TP map, that is the Pampa Sierras. Typically, Brits would like to try and expand their eco with manor houses. It's on Russia to be on the front foot, to be aggressive, to try and force mistakes, try and force the trades. The longer the game goes in Age 2, the better it is for Russia. They get to squeeze in all their upgrades, including infantry combat, cav combat. They train those faster. So it's trying to keep the British player tied in their base. April will have to try and work out. Look at his hunt. He's only got his starting hunt, one behind.
Yeah.
That's it. That is it. And April is already on a really big timer, and it's going to be tough for him for this game to kind of secure the eco, secure the military to push out with his in-base resources.
And as you pointed out, it's quite unfortunate actually that we see that, because I think we've won back herds here. I mean, 2 side herds more, let's say, for Russia, of course, for Ungurs. But yeah, April is there with just 1 mega hunt, and that is going to be some starving on the Brit side if he doesn't play it properly here.
Yeah, no, it's not ideal. On the other hand, though, to give April a bit of confidence, go April, Team April, let's do that. I have beaten Ungurs before, yeah. He got clapped by the gatekeeper. I have not beaten April before, so there it is. April is the stronger player. That is proof in the pudding. April's going to win the series 4-2. The reverse comeback is coming on.
I mean, I surely would love, especially now that you're here, to cast this as a series, of a proper series of 7, right? Instead of just a best of 7. So all 7 games, that would be the greatest thing right here. But yeah, we will see about this. And I can't contribute to the question who's the better player. Obviously, whenever I meet those guys in quick rank, in quick search, it doesn't go too well for good old Lakota. But yeah.
I'm just reading Crab God. I beat the 2022 most improved player. And that's an interesting one. Like, who are we taking most improved player for 2023? Karim? There's a shout, potential, but probably not.
Certainly.
That could be comment question of the day if people are trying to entertain themselves in the first stage. We've got treasure contention here. What's the treasure here? Not looking too much. Maybe
100 XP, that one.
Ooh, that's quite nice. Go have a quick look into April's deck to see what his Age 2 shipments are.
I mean, he certainly got the town militia there against Russia. That is something you do have to take at some point. 700 food.
Yeah, he's not got musketeer attack in the second age, which I actually find that a bit interesting. He's got musketeer HP, but usually you want your cav HP card, your musketeer attack card. They kind of have good synergy together. There is potential for April to be stuck in the second age really for a long time and not having those upgrades available to kind of keep his army competitive. You've got to remember, Russia now having access to many upgrade cards in the second age. Let's look at Russia's deck. Does he still have the I want to say Boyar's equipment, but it's now infantry combat equipment.
Only
Yeah,
infantry cards. Oh, actually both. Never mind. Boyars and infantry. And
well, yeah, there you go. Then that's if the game goes late, April's going to really struggle. How many llamas have we seen both players take? Both civs here, a single explorer civ. So trying to get out on the map and try and pick up the livestock be quite tough
look
for
at
both
that.
players.
There are still 3 of them on the map, so somebody has been a bit sleazy with their map scouting here. And Ungurs blockhouse is already in the front there as we speak. He has, I think he has eaten all. Same goes for the Brits player as far as I'm concerned. At least I can't see a single llama left, so probably heavily in favor of April actually. Since those 3 llamas should more or less be Ungurs's, right?
Well, April's up really fast actually. He might be up 1 villager early, which could be a 16 village up at this point. Don't quote me on that. It's because 17. He's just trained his first one, so maybe 17.
Yeah. So
yeah, maybe 16 and mana in transition possibly. But stable coming down with using the gold on the age up. I think April just wants to try and keep that Russian mass as small as possible. Other tactics could be trying to get some wars up and try and buy himself time, let's say.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that you can always do against Russia. If you pull it off properly, it just hurts them so much because of the bet training. If you just get some decent raiding, some decent idling, especially against Russia. But of course, it's Ungurs we're talking about here, so he knows how to play that kind of aggressive.
Yeah, look at this from Ungurs right now. He's going straight into the base. He's seen the barracks being thrown down. He sees the stable already built. Stables are not there for looking at. They're pretty building. They're there to train cavalry. He knows that hussars are in queue. If we look at Ungurs' training queue, I expect to see musketeers in queue, or if not, cats would bust.
And look at where they're going. They're actually on their way back
home.
Yeah. So they want. Are they?
No, what I was going to say is if there was a batch of Strelets, he would have definitely countered that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like, if you go Strelets, you punish the musketeer opening. If you go Musks, you punish the cav opening. It gives him options. Now he knows what's happening. Yeah. And you might not see this Huss raid.
Let's see. I mean, he's attentive. Quickly sees them and he knows they're bound for his base, right? I don't know on the other side if October saw that he was seen, obviously. But I think he can more or less predict that Ungurs was able to actually spot that. And I love that defensive mode here. I'm just a huge fan of that. Better positioning, better micro for your cap.
It's coming to meta, and like the meta play to do is to surround a villager in the pentagon shape there, and actually just that villager is kind of physically trapped, can't move, and it's still a 2-swing kill, but it's a bit more of a secure way for getting the kills, but also nice way to get them out of tight situations, specifically around houses, town centres, the market, and to minimise the whole length of the army, which minimises the chance they get ensnared by something.
Absolutely, and also you don't have to deal with this bothersome line forming, where you go to a further spot and then they all go one after each other and then form a straight line while also slowing down, which often just messes up your entire positioning, especially if you go through a tight spot or something. Second cav badge actually bound for the Russian base, and Russia not really applying too much pressure on Brits right there. I mean, April is on 27 vills.
He is sending gold down behind this, both players that is, including Russia. So looking to maybe mass in a huge amount of Musketeer Cossack. So going for Cossack playstyle. Not going to see many Strelets, it seems like. I think
No.
having seen 2 batches of Cav on the fields already, I think he just wants to stay away from those units.
Yeah.
Bit of raiding. I'm sure he'll get his great coats eventually.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
but look at
I'm
that.
saying that one.
Not a single villager going down. Just typical gathering as if nothing, you know, was happening right there. You got to respect those guys for being chill while getting a saber to the head several times.
At the end of the day, though, this is just buying April all the time he needs to get the shipments in, get the wood shipments in, get the manor houses being built behind this. He's got the infrastructure of both a barracks and a stable. He's actually quite happy in his position. Ungurs, yes, he is training units, but he's not raiding around the edges of the Brit base, picking off villas, forcing towns into time. April's economy is much larger than Russia's at the moment, and this Hussar opening is actually proving very well to kind of buy in that breathing space to potentially move out on the map. I'm sure April, if he's going to push out one direction, it will be to the left-hand side onto the plateau, where he can wall this up. It's not an open map. You can wall it, so I'm not too worried to his situation right now.
I am actually. You know why? Because if he doesn't make it in the first push, then he is starving here because there's no hunt left. That's literally, I think, the last enemy he has in base. And as you pointed out at the beginning, this is a very difficult spot. He needs to get this and he needs to secure it fast before Russia actually spots what is happening over there. Let's just quickly check if Ungurs... Yeah, he has it scouted and you know that that cav is on its way. But actually still going for the base first, looks like.
So if you might have missed it, but April has kicked the age up button. He's aging up right now, which I think is a very risky position. He's not got the infantry to kind of deal with both the musketeers and Cossacks. He may be hoping for some sort of falconet breakout play, but the problem is this could have been 10 muskets, extra 5 huts and minutemen on the field already with potential. Yeah, 10 musks, 5 huts with minutemen backing up to potentially beat this and then safely age up. He's going for a risky play here.
Yeah,
maybe because of the food, but I don't know. This is tough.
Certainly is, and he's still trying to get some rest for units out, so he can more or less get to time with the tomahawks they're going to pop out here. But
Colonial Militia shipment being sent. This is the Age 1 shipment. You don't really see it as a meta these days. The second large batch of Minutemen has been heavily nerfed in DE as well, so we already feel that they was feeling pressured. Frankfurt Falconets in the third age because there's cavalry here. We've got loads of space to get them out on the field and shooting your opponent. So I think Ape was hoping for maybe age up longbows, the cav coming in, but he's still raiding.
Yeah. And also look at the villager numbers there. I mean, we've got 29 villagers now for Russia versus 31 for the Brit player, and that is not a big difference here, especially that is not a difference at all, considering all of them are idle for Britain and Spicer is in for Russia. The age up is there, but what can really happen here? Big Minutemen batch coming out. DC-5 obviously being upgraded. Tower is there, so should be able to deal with this army, but Ungurs...
The Huss are just not in the fight to help out as well, even if it's just to divert some musket fire to keep the Minutemen alive a little bit longer. The Tomahawks, they are the right choice compared to longbows in the competition, but it's not given him the space he wanted. He does have a shipment available. This could be 9 musketeers to try and provide some sort of breathing space, but again, it's Russia's economy at the moment is just continuously ticking over. He should be now producing out of both blockhouses and the stable continuously now.
And now, of course, he's left without military unit. I mean, Russia left a lot of dead soldiers in this base, obviously. But at the same time, I think investment-wise and also the tempo that they took from Brit, they're going to be more than happy.
But yeah, he hasn't got a hunt secured is the big problem here.
Yeah.
He does have mines. He could try and throw down an artillery foundry and try and get some falconets, but he hasn't got the massive units to protect it. Who knows? We could see a heroic villager with great coats protecting the cannons push. That'll be a clip for the centuries, but
that certainly would be.
Yeah.
But Settler's still not upgraded, obviously. I mean, from Russia, what did we see? Yeah, there we go. Great cutters now on the Russian villages, so any raids they're trying to come through are going to have a harder time, obviously. And now the Strelit's out, and that's a wise anticipation of the musketeer shipment there. Yeah, April just struggling to get his base in order again, and Russia knows that. Yeah, Russia knows that the resources are being gathered over there, and that's a lot. That's 4 villages. That will certainly put Ungurs ahead in villager numbers. Oh, wait. We see an emergency gate there coming in. Probably saving one of those unlucky bastards.
MFD, excuse me very
sorry.
much. This is prime time TV time. The villagers reacting. The Great Escape, I think, is better terminology, or is that too
Absolutely.
soon?
Please do censor my French there. Front side. Oh, that's of course that is the reinforcing raiding batch, and there's no second layer of walls to save those guys, and that merry group of villages is certainly going to go down one way or another. Yeah.
Another interesting thing, reason why we're starting to see more Strelets is because Brits can be training longbows, they can send longbow shipment, they can be training musks, a couple falcons. Like Strelets are happy just to eat falconet shots because you're going to lose units anyways. You might as well lose cheap units. Veteran dragoons could be trained at some point, but for veteran hussars, you do have to research the hussar upgrade as well. So there's a little bit of an investment into that. So that's kind of. I think Ungurs kind of playing around that, but he's expecting not many heavy cavalry at this point.
Honestly, look at the mill here. I don't know. I don't think that Ungurs has even an idea how bad the spot that April is in right now because of that lack of food. Because he's just, he's doing what Russia wants him to do. He's slowly but surely starving here.
Ungurs is looking at the score. He's looking at his mini map. He thinks Christmas has come early for him in this series.
Certainly.
For the 2022 most improved player, Ungurs does know the situation very well. He's just thinking, right, I need to play this nice and safe, and even just moving in now for, idling, getting him off the
Look at
mill.
that Mars.
Building a mill in DE, like, doesn't DE supposed to give you infinite hunts these days? This is not how the matchup is meant to go in the current playbook, but on this map, it's just
not
April
this time.
and it's sometimes I think watching a game like this, it fills me with great satisfaction because sometimes it's the basics which we need to remember each time we play is securing maps, securing resources. What's how can we move on the front foot, and H&F and looking for the yellow swaggins underneath the town centre is risky, and Ungurs has managed to capitalise on that and pick the game up to take the series. Is it a 3-0 now into Ungurs?
No, it's a 3-0, and Ungurs is surely putting the pressure on April here. And Jesus Christ, he's just playing one game after the other, and it looks like it's almost easy, without any offense meant to April. But the builds and the situations, of course, that Ungurs puts himself in here just looks so well thought through. And so,
what I would say was, I think as the matchup went, before April aged up, I think April was playing that game fantastically well. It had Russia on the back foot in terms of the mass at the time, the economy. The raiding was doing very, very well. To then potentially follow up with a larger military in Age 2, or to safely age up with more units, or to wall up even more to buy time for the age up process. But not kind of just relying on Ungurs not right clicking was the risk there, and Ungurs managed to capitalise after kind of getting his house in order before pushing out. And that's what double block house provides you, is the flexibility to quickly train those units and quickly go back on the offensive.
absolutely. Also, I mean, we would have to start the game and the rec over again to just check, right? But I do think that maybe the spawns were not all that fair here with the hunts, obviously. But
Can't do anything. Are these games live or?
oh, these are obviously live, yeah.
Oh, you should have phoned up the players on Discord and just told them to rehost immediately. Casters responsibility, ESOC rule 4.4 in the casters menu. If you see a game live, unfair hunt, unfair resources.
Oh, don't forget, I'm officially not a caster. I'm just a YouTube guy usually. Those rules don't apply to me, sir.
Do you remember back in if you was watching ESOC back in the day of ESOC patch where the caster was actually in the game with the players and could do the map check there and then, and Kaiser Klein literally cried at me for calling rehost 4 times because his map side of the map was terrible 4 times. I was like, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. He's like, next game, we're playing it whatever happens. And it was actually quite a balanced map, but
I actually do remember, and I remember the first ESOC event that I ever saw, the first cast event that I ever saw was Snow versus Kinnessy. I think it was some 2015 final or something, which was absolutely brilliant. But I thought, I can't even deal with half the stuff that the caster was saying at the time. I can't even deal with the stuff that players are doing. So that was so far above my level back then. But yeah, those things you guys had to do in the early days.
Yeah, the other weird one as well was, does anybody else remember the LAN event at Manchester, New World Championships? I think it was Diaruga versus Lord Raphael on this map, had to get rehosted 4 or 5 times, and Robo was just running in and out of the admin room. He had no idea. Like, he literally had no idea. Maito and into a cast and going, look, we can't do anything like this. It's just not
No,
like
that's just the game being quirky.
But it was a super high important. It was in the finals. It was something like that. It was a super important game. It's like
No.
we can't allow this one.
Obviously, yeah, no, I feel you. I absolutely feel it. I'm just very glad that that is one of the issues that more or less has been worked out with V, because you usually do have pretty balanced things. I say that as we just saw Manchuria, one of the most probably casted maps ever, spawned without the water delivery spawn point for shipments for Ungurs, but
Oh, you need to blame Garja for that one. God damn it, terrible.
certainly will.
Always the Italians. I swear.
Yeah, quickly, one thing I want to quickly check before we hop onto the next game is actually the food. Food tool. There we go. That's the nick. That's the thing I was looking for. That's basically the moment where April ran out of food completely, and Russia just kept on scaling and scaling. Obviously.
It isn't. It wasn't. He clicked the age up at that moment in time, and then got pushed while he was aging. So he wasn't necessarily pushed off. I suppose he was pushed off for food. The food was there for the taking.
Yeah.
If he went to defend it, but that didn't quite happen.
Yeah. So your point is basically also that he should have stayed a bit longer in age to kind of capitalize on the economic lead and get some stuff going and take the map preemptively, so he wouldn't be able to be pushed off that. Ungurs, by the way, and April are starting their 4th game, so now it's match point from now until the end of the series. Ungurs actually starting with Germany versus USA, a civ that has seen some controversy in this recent and very long going patch.
Oh, if there's a way for April to get back into the series, that is with the United States of America. Ungurs is Germany. That is his main squeeze. That is his civ. He plays the most, knows the most. Basically, you can think of Ungurs' rise as a player by mimicking what Kaiser Klein was doing during early DE, late EP. Look at his civs. There's the There's Russia, Germany. That is Kaiser Klein's bread and butter there. Maybe he might play for the British in Game 5 if it goes that far, and then maybe branch out to more exotic civilizations. But
I mean, you know that I'm a horse guy, so I would absolutely love to see Lakota from Ungurs at some point. I'm just Ungurs, obviously Lucas L. I'm just a huge Lakota player fan, so whenever I can see it, I'm just fingers crossed for that one. So I'm looking forward to a 5th game. Hopefully.
Yeah. The Lakota dynamic has changed quite a bit in more recent times.
That is did.
It's a cavalry civ which doesn't make cavalry these days. It's, if you want to play it well, you double racks Warhut. It's a very strange one. Very strange one.
Absolutely. Now, I'm one of the players. I started playing them when they were still that more or less all cav civ, if they were able to do that, right? And then the big patch came and changed it up completely.
Also, I need to apologise to the community. I can't remember when it was, but I was playing Fitzbro, like some friendly series on I think it was like a public preview patch, and I was just going through, and I think I was like leading him 6-0, and then he went to the depths going, "Oh, Lakota terrible," and then out of nowhere, not even on the pup, out of nowhere into the main patch was the 200 wood Lakota start. My mouth dropped. It just dropped. I could not believe it.
Oh, yeah, that was a huge change of metaphor. I don't know when the last time was that people said, yeah, Lakota is absolutely busted, but that was some freaky times. I think it was just a month of Lakota being absolutely batshit broken. But it was insane to see that. Especially to see Lakota being infantry broken. Not Cav or P or something, but really the infantry play that took over.
Well, the joke was you could age up fast with the messenger.
Yeah.
And send in 4 acts to your opponent's base by like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And like Asian players, or no, players playing the Asian Civ, pardon my language, were like, well, I can't put villagers on my Wanzer. Lol. This is tough.
It was absolutely insane because that timing basically just blew everybody out of the water. Yeah. Let's quickly hop into the lovely map intro. This time we're going to play on Dakota, a map we've seen so far quite a few times actually. Also the last time that I got to cast here. So I'm looking forward to that one. Always a fun map with a lot of dynamics floating around those 2 mountain passes or mountainous areas, plateaus. So let's go for that one, shall we?
Players will find wide open prairies peppered with flowers, ponds, and forests. 2 red maces restrict movement through the middle of the map, but also create strong defendable positions. Form an early alliance with the natives for some powerful economic options. The Cree will supply cour de bois, and the Cheyenne can provide a large herd of bison. Researching stagecoach or iron horse here will upgrade both trade routes. Be careful not to aid your opponents.
All right, let's hop into the game. Game number 4, and already one of the decisive ones, because obviously Ungurs is up 3-0 against April here in a very decisive series so far in the semi-finals of the ESOC Summer Championship.
Fox move forward to winter time in a couple 2 days time. This is the legit last bit of summer I have left in my life. Summer clothes packed away, the nights are drawing in, but yet we're still here celebrating a tournament with the
Summer
title.
champion, yeah.
But you know, that's the good thing. Once the summer championship finishes, well, it's time for the autumn one, which with space for winter if needed as well. So I think there's some big brain activity going on ESOC HQ, so we'll leave it on that one there. But we are in the 4th game. This is the map is Dakota, a USA versus Germany matchup, spawning into the southeast of the map, playing as the Germans. It is Ungurs in the color blue. His opponent, it is April, with the month October, of course, playing as the United States of America in the northwest in the color red. Let's have a look at April's deck, because I think the USA build orders these days have gone over some multiple iterations, and
Absolutely.
I'm stunned and shocked to not see either the German immigrants or the French immigrants in Age 1, and I'm sure a more experienced American player in the chat's going to advise us, but I'm thinking that April may be missing out to a golden opportunity here.
I see what you're talking about there, but one of the things I've seen in the German league, we of course also have players like Brom and Lucasell and those guys, and this kind of deck actually has been prevalent over the German settler versions of it, so the more greedy H2 versions, just because you have the tempo that is focused on H3, and also via the coal mines and the Russian expedition settlers, what's it called? Russian American company, of course. You just buff your economy to levels beyond, I don't want to say stupid, but reasonable at least. So I feel like that's the more prevalent build right now, probably.
Yeah, the coal mine and the skirmisher shipments, the Kentucky age up is one of the strongest age ups in the entire game, and I beg belief at last patch Kentucky was buffed even further. I think to negate a possible treaty change, but to then just provide an incredible skirmisher shipment, and of course the coal mines as well. But those cards in the 3rd age is kind of invariant. What happens in Age 1? If you get to the 3rd age, you're pretty much going to go the same line of attack for the United States of America. Age 1 builds I find is very interesting. And a map like Dakota, there's openings for Chinese immigrants trying to take that TP line away from the Germans.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you take the closest 2 training posts away from Germany's base, he has to try and walk to your side, maybe sneaking for the 4th, and then Germany's there without TP, and things can move on from that point of view.
He could just deny that opening build, of course, for Germany, but at the same time, it's always an investment, and I think at this level, players, of course, know that the Chinese immigrants, while XP trickle is huge, of course, it takes a lot of investment, and it takes a lot of timing away from the USA player, and if you want to upgrade it to Stagecoach or something, then you always have to invest even more resources. And while XP trickle is nice, it always delays USA, and I think the counterplay for this kind of opening has been established, at least on this level, very, very well, I think.
Yeah.
Just imagine if you can get some training posts on the way up to Age 3 then, so you can send in your Russia company, 3 Gatling guns to hold on if you need to.
Yeah.
54th Massachusetts if you need some more infantry, or I guess he's got no regular cards. Yeah, you've got no regular cards in there at all. It's not a problem. It's just different lines of attack there. But like, you can ship in defensive units and eco back to back with all this XP. And if we're thinking maybe Virginia General Assembly and transition, I mean
look at that.
That building provides 300 XP on its own.
What do my wary eyes see right there and then? Is this going to be a great... Is this
Well,
going to
we've
be a
got-
tower rush from Germany?
Yeah, the Minutemen come out. I think that's just normal for most build orders only because it's good value. But the Minutemen are not going to kill a setup wagon. Setup wagon just hops in, and to be fair, can just stand around. It's not going to lose too much HP due to the Minutemen's negative multipliers. Going forward, tower. There's the barracks. It might be just trying to secure the 5k gold mine, which is very important there for Germany later on. Let's look at Germany's first card because it tells us more. Really,
Philadelphia Convention. That is go-to in this situation, usually.
Yes, is that the
you get the
access
church
to
card and the
meeting
certain
house?
meeting house wagon,
Yeah.
and you get the technology, so the trickles, you get access to H2 skirm goon basically, if you invest that, of course. But against Germany, I think a lot of times it's actually worth to invest it. But I'm really interested in how Ungurs wants to play this, because that's a very confident start in my opinion. Actually, outpost rush, or the tower rush from Germany against USA. Yulin's here for the snare, great.
Yeah, so crossbows card 1 here from Germany. This has got Kaiserklein's Tower Rush written all over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talking about how Ungurs, a disciple of Kaiserklein's way of playing. This is very standard. And, okay, he's followed the 3 setup wagons, that's fine. He has the barracks against the pike when he's caused out of time, and has kind of made April think about maybe not aging up as fast as possible. So that's a lot of good things there so far. Back to the Age 1 discussion. I know about capitalism here to try and get your FF, the gold income, while you have some other eco here, like the gold income from the church. But you could have gone for German immigrants and gone for like a pseudo 1210, just aged up, put down send that card in, put down the mill, get a German settler wagon, and then that's more income really than the capitalism. Or 2 settler wagons more income than capitalism. Then could have done some Delaware play with the livestock shipments and homestead wagon shipments that USA have access to as well. So kind of feels like April's now aging up, but it feels a little bit slower than it ought to be. He's now going for the 2 outpost shipment instead of VGA access to the fast age.
Don't know, that is... Ooh.
April is aging slow in the face of a tower rush, and there's not really much way to kind of get units on the field apart from the church, but he needs food in all the villages in the town centre right now.
Yeah. And I mean, those two frontier defenses are certainly going to help him hold on here, but at the same time, that is exactly what Ungurs wants to get out of here.
Yeah, they take a while to build. I've tried some stream recently, 3 towers to defend versus Spain. They take some time to build, and those pikes will just move straight into
that is a shitty spawn spot.
I love the Minutemen there, though. I
Yep.
love the Minutemen block it, but you see the one's down.
Yeah, no, that is... Oh, that is not beautiful, right? That is basically the entire shipment going to a meager investment of H2 units, and look at that. Ungurs probably already looking at an age up here. Not producing any units, just muckering for H3, 700 coin here. Ah, that hurts to see. Also because USA is going to be properly housed here.
So in the next patch, how do you think we should buff USA further and nerf Germany?
Please don't get me started.
I think that's the competition we're having right now. Can we get Ungurs to play Age Empires 3 with his hands tied behind his back permanently, or maybe mouth only? That kind of bring him down to our level.
Yes.
Mouth only wiping the keyboard once after the first 3 games, right? Keep it. All right. We seem to be agreeing on that one. So 2 houses going up, emergency houses, obviously. Ungurs, yeah, he has done all the damage that he needed to do there, and obviously the church building is no longer there. We've got some skirms on the map, but yeah, those 2 Yulans are probably could be enough to take care of those guys actually. And Ungurs is there, and he is going to be annoying right after the age of obviously force even more commitment out of April here.
I assume the blockhouses you can train skirmishers from. They act like a regular United States barracks, so you can still train your regulars, state militia, and sharpshooters. That's probably why he's looking to send this, because the thing is, it is 2 fortified outposts, blockhouses. They've got their Age 3 technology research with them.
Look at that.
Training infrastructure, but the problem is with the eco upgrades, 30% hunting, but he's only got 16 vills. It's less than a 3 Age 1 shipment at the time. It was scale, but we need now. We need a sense of urgency.
Those things will build fast enough to not go down like the frontier defenses did. That is for sure, of course. And of course, they are also reinforced already, so that is one big bonus of those things as well. So. But honestly, if you send that card, you usually want to take control over a map that is a bit outside of your base and not just use it to hold on to dear life.
Can you click on the blockhouse?
Yeah, obviously. There you go. Just infantry units and upgrades, so...
I guess fortified outposts also have only 2,000 HP in their tier 2. For some
Jesus.
reason, I had the idea that they had
No, you're absolutely right.
extra 500 HP and plus 15 attack, and the
no.
fortified outposts were much tankier. But no, it's HP only comes in the fortified stage, I guess.
Interesting.
Or
I
the,
did not know that.
Frontier.
But
The thing is, if there was 8 pikes there, you would say goodbye to one of those blockhouses straight
Yeah,
away.
sure.
Problem.
Absolutely. But yeah, with this, I mean, he has at least some sort of defensive base here, but at the same time, that's the only hunt that he got him. He's only defending the silver mine that's already in his base, and now he needs to win a fair H3 fight against Germany. That is just so far ahead already, with 2 TPs by now, so shipment curve is going to be even better for Germany there, while his own is quite lacking.
So for April to come back in, he's got 2 lines how you may want to go about it. He needs to either go on the front foot now, super aggressive out to micro Ungurs, or play for time, get the coal mines in, and try and just to basically buy up an army, buy your Gatling guns, buy your carbine cavalry, and try and mass on the coal mines, because that is an exceptional card. And if you let's say you had an artillery foundry in place down a couple of houses, and then send the coal mine, the coal mine shipment is probably worth like 12 Gatlins. It's great value.
Also, look at that. I do think that April is going for the right unit composition.
He's staggered.
Too slow. Too slow. That's it. The trees. That could have been a great volley right there.
Well, actually, if April gets his units in front of the Gatlins, this can play to his advantage, but you can't really flank through trees. So look at where the Uhlans are going. They're going for like a run around the trading post. They go top.
Oh, God. There's a huge shipment, though. Are they going to come on point there? That's the question here. Only 8 veteran carbines left, and that's the entire artillery gone with a huge damage of veteran Uhlans. That was a perfectly timed shipment there.
Minutemen to block on the wrong side of the trees, explore on the other side of the trees. The carbine cavalry obviously not enough to block, and the 909 shipment, great play there from Ungurs.
That was... Yeah, now we see the Kentucky Hunt is one of the more controversial.
Saying closed game. Sanctiety saying alt F4. Squagmire saying April's just tilted. You've got to play until saying is the fat lady's things, but unfortunately, I think she may have sung her final notes about 30 seconds ago, because this is only going to go down to the XP that was just gained from that fight, and he's got 3 train posts as well, so we're going to see shipment to shipment, 8 Ulan, 8 Skirm plus 3 Ulan, Cav Combat plus 3 Ulan, coming in back to back, and will roll over at this point.
This is
too strong.
Yeah, look at that. Cav Combat, just as you prophesized, already on its way, and anti-Cav being caught out here. I think that is the GG position right there, because there's more reinforcing Uhlans on the reinforcing
Look at that ship. Come on, sorry. Look at that shipment. That is 9 sharpshooters and 5 Owlhoots there.
Yeah.
Or 8 sharpshooters. Sorry, I couldn't count my USA shipments. They usually have an extra one at this point.
Yeah, that's the right thing. Because he left lost the TP. And look at that. The entire trade line is taken and upgraded by Germany. So that is the most GG I've ever seen, I guess, in this spot. And that's the 4-0 victory.
There is no shame in losing a series to Ungurs, and let's just say it's a series.
Yeah.
Ungurs is a great player and was expected to move ahead with this matchup as well. So we say, well played to both players. Congrats to April for getting this far. Obviously, congratulations to Ungurs moving on to the next round. Who is Ungurs' potential opponents in the next round? Is this the semi-final now?
This is the semi-final now, so we are going to see the finals for Ungurs.
We're going to see an all-German-Austrian affair. No, is Ungurs by Latvian?
Ungurs is there. Wrong flag there, my friend. I'm a bit jealous, but yeah, it would have been great if he's Austrian, but he's actually Latvia, if I'm not mistaken there.
Anyway, Julian will be playing, and that series will be very hotly contested. I think Julian's been calling from the start of the tournament that this is going to be the final, and this is the series that he's hoping for. I did hear Julian say he's hoping to not drop a game versus Ungurs, which I think is highly obnoxious of him. I can understand friendly games on quick search or lobby. You might have a stomping session when trying different stuff out in a tournament environment. Ungurs will bring his A game on the maps, well prepared, and it should be a firecracker of a series.
But at the same time, we all do know that that is just the kind of shit talk that happens between, especially Ungurs and Julian. I think they have been matching each other on and off all the time, right? I've been playing a lot of games together. I remember when they did the Haudenosaunee guide for Royal TV and so on and so forth. So definitely a friendly rivalry there. But at the same time, a lot of shit talk, especially from Julian. Obviously, that's just his banter, right?
Is the finals a best of 9? Do you think?
As far as I know, and as far as it's written out right now, it's going to be a best of 7.
I think we should try and twist people's arms to get to be a best of 9, because that series, like, it's going to be the series of the quarter of the year. Like, let's leave it like that. That's going to be good.
That is going to be goddamn good. Yeah.
I'll tell you what else would be good is, well, you know, I've only hopped in and I'm soon be hopping out, I guess, unless we see Mr. Bramboy, because he always loves Adrian Paz. I mean, he's gagging for Adrian Paz. Actually, there must be a little bit of cheeky Thursday nights show match action going on somewhere.
I mean, I can always ask Dennis. He's probably not doing anything right now.
Geeks, can we not? No, Geeks, you go make some baguettes. Go do something else.
Can we not?
Okay, well, I'll stream something then. That's not a problem for me. If Geeks wants to get his good night's sleep and early bedtime, I don't know. But yeah, well, it's we've got a lot of people hanging around. But also, I mean, we have to find out who else wants to stream next, and if that's the case, unless we do find a Geeks is talking to chat. No, press on. We got to find some players. We got to keep this action going.
Oh, interesting.
Moonshine is the same elo as Bram at the moment, and all I've seen from Moonshine is dodging of Mr. Bram Boy. So I'm publicly calling him out. Not for me to play versus him. I know who Moonshine.
Face your fears, Honeywell. Come on.
But I'm publicly calling out Moonshine a best of 3 with Mr. Bram Boy on the channel. For the 200 people here watching right now, will be good.
We could put this time to some good use, guys. So
Is
think
Bram
about
Boy
it.
even in the chat? He might not even be here.
We can't just leave like that. Who does he think he is?
He's not here. Disappointing, Brammers.
It certainly is. But I guess if the worst comes to happen, some, you know, like a well-known donor in the Age of Empires community, or probably a Brit who hasn't casted in some time, maybe could start up their stream and we would rate them, for example. I guess.
Could, but I haven't got an overlay though, so I wouldn't be able to cast any games.
No, but you would be able to play some, I guess. There we got you.
Well, it would probably be only a casting situation because I do have a cat on my lap at the moment. I'm pinned down in my chair and unable to move. So, but I could just look on Quick Touch right now and see if there's anything interesting going on.
I think that as I said, if nobody else is up for, you know, some fancy short show just for the sake of it and just for the entertainment of 190 players, watchers, viewers, then I would gladly hand this over to you, honestly. If you're willing to pick it up.
I might. I was actually planning to play a bit of Rome Total War 2 actually for a bit. I don't know, maybe.
I know I'm putting you on the spot a bit there.
Yeah, it's the feeling of the most amazing stream upcoming here on Harris, but it's really not. That's and I'm looking at actually people currently in the lobby. Not really much else going on. Who knows? Maybe I'll cast one game and we'll see where that road goes. So we'll just do that and then see if. And who knows? I might play some Gatekeeper EO games for you to watch and praise. Who knows? We'll do that. Okay, I'll get the stream up and going now.
Honestly, that sounds like a perfect thing to zone out the night, you know, to finish this out with a perfect, enjoyable Harrison stream there.
Raging at how shit Malta is at the moment, the current meta. Raging at how bad Dutch are. Raging at just save me now, please. Please.
Well, as we all know, the next patch is just around the corner of...
Is it? Is
a
it?
year, I guess.
ESOC are dropping it. ESOC
No,
spilling the beans.
no,
Heard
I'm
it here
sorry.
first. New patch
No.
around the corner.
The only thing that I heard, it's around some corner. The question is how many corners come before that one. So I wouldn't be counting that too soon, at least. Guys, I'm going to get you all up and running over to Harrison's channel right there. Harrison, a personal thank you. I mean, I said that to you early before already, but I kind of fulfilled one of my casting dreams right here and then.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. That was 2 games.
Yeah,
That's not-
just 2 games, not a full series. We can repeat that if you have
that's-
up for it.
That's just the warm up. That is. So,
But absolutely thankful to cast with legends such as yourself.
no, my pleasure. I mean, it's not every time I have pretty much a house to myself, but I'm free Thursday nights, Friday nights, then see what the situation is on Sunday. I think Friday night is like prime time for gaming. It has to be.
Absolutely. You know, for me, it's just that I have the time off today because obviously, as everybody in the world knows, today is Austria's national holiday, more or less. So
Everyone begging for some Malta Turtle game.
yeah,
Dude, I'm on the road to 1500 with Malta. I'm going down. I'm going down.
Oh, I
with
might
Malta.
just go and stream snipe you with Lakota. It's going to be a fun game. Like the one game no, 2 games. I think I played 2 games
Called me
against
out.
you ever.
You called me out now in front of how many people? Go on, boy, let's do it. I will play D tier civs.
All right, then I'm going to play Lakota, and we will see how that happens.
Russia could do by one person Lakota actually.
Is your channel up already? Just asking.
I think so.
You haven't changed the spelling, right? Just some weird stuff.
It's Harrison underscore AOE. It's not the I underscore Harrison double I.
Yeah, I got that.
That
part.
was 2021, my friend.
It's also not the topless just chatting stream, right?
I do have a T-shirt and I do have a cat on my lap, so technically you could say there's something on my lap, and PG is my pet. And you're a good boy, aren't you? Oh, it's so good. I need to I've got a
Weirdly
crate of
enough-
Pepsi underneath my desk. I need to bend over and get another one.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. You're missing the bending over action right there and then. I'm just trying to get Harrison to go up. There we go. Harrison AOE. Great is happening right now.
Bending over sideways. Not the,
Well,
it's not the end of
The
world.
night is still young, so we don't know what's going to happen next on camera. Thank all of you guys for the support, for just showing up and watching our.
I've got one. Sorry, I've got one more thing to say to the
Yeah.
community. Hashtag justice for Harry. I want that VIP badge back, and I want it now. Okay, before the finals happen or during the finals, I want that VIP badge.
We
You
will
heard
see.
it here, MFD.
I heard it here. I'm
Make it
going to see what I can do with the little
Make it
influence I have.
happen. Make it happen. I don't need a sword. It's fair enough. I would not be trusted with a sword these days. I would swap down anybody who talks bad about Malta or Dutch. But
Understandable.
diamonds cannot hurt anybody.
All right,
I
guys.
joke. It's not that serious.
I'm leaving you off in the night with Harrison now. Harrison, thanks for taking over. Thanks for
No
also
worries.
taking the co-caster spot here. Hopefully not for the last time.
No worries.
And
Sounds good for me.
just one short quick heads up. Probably the finals are probably going to happen this weekend. We're going to be sure to make an announcement early enough, so all of you crazy people out there are going to find the spot and make sure that you see the action. That it's going to be Ungurs against either Kevin or Julian K. And obviously,
Oh, they haven't played yet, have they?
no, that other match hasn't happened
Oh.
yet. So
Kevin could win it.
Yeah.
Well,
we will see
Good.
about that.
could. Yeah.
All right, off we go.